guys, welcome back. So today I am going to show you my curly to straight hair routine. I know there's been a lot of people asking me how I get my hair straight since I do have such curly hair. I feel like what I do is pretty basic, but I want to show you like the tools that I use and like how I actually do it. So if you would like to see that, then you can just keep watching. Alright, so obviously I have very curly hair. This isn't even as curly as it gets. When it gets dry, it is just like full on, even more curly than this. And it is curly all from the root. So straight from the root, it starts to curl. So what makes it difficult is I can't blow dry it fully straight because it won't get it at the roots. And no matter how hard I try to blow dry it straight without it getting frizzy, it always frizzes. Even if I go to like the salon to get like a blowout or something, they cannot get my hair straight without using a straightener. So the first thing that I always do, is blow dry my hair because I need to have it blow dried. Even if I don't blow dry it and I only straighten it right for my curl, it will not stay straight. It will still, throughout the day, it'll start to get wavy in some places and then it'll just full on get curly. I don't know why. It has to be blow dried straight. So the blow dryer that I have been loving is the Nicole Guerrero Bellami blow dryer. I used to use the Numi blow dryer, but I've gone through, what, two or three of them, and for some reason they always stop blowing hot air. And it's like they're so expensive that I don't understand why they stop blowing hot air after a while, but it's super frustrating because they only have like a certain amount of time for you to like return it. And usually it's like a couple weeks after that, which totally sucks. So I moved on to this one and I love this one. It blows really hot air, really hard and really fast. So it gets my blow drying done super quickly. So before I blow dry, I always brush my hair out and I always use my wet brush because it has to be wet, obviously. So I always use my wet brush and I just go right in and start brushing it out. And once it is brushed out, you'd think, oh cool, she could just let it air dry like this and it would not be as curly. That's wrong, it will just curl right back up. So what I do after this, well first of all, before I start blow drying my hair, I like to let it dry. What percentage, I'm not sure, but I like to dry it pretty well so that I don't have to do too much heat styling on it, because I do a lot. But after I'm done brushing it out, I always add argan oil, and this is the Numi argan oil. And I probably add like a nickel size amount, I guess, only because I do have quite thick hair and it is quite long. So adding this much works for my hair, and I just put it into the ends. I do not put it towards the top just because I don't need it there. After I am done with putting the argan oil in, I will start blow drying my hair, and I'm going to do a talk through over this just because it's going to be loud, you're not going to be able to hear me. So I just use a petal brush. I have used a round brush in the past. I used to use it all the time, but it ended up taking so much longer, and I got the same result while using a paddle brush. So I just decided to use a paddle brush just because it is easier. So I'm just going to start doing it, and then I will explain in a voiceover like what I'm doing and like why I'm doing it. Alright, so as I'm blow drying my hair, I just take the paddle brush and then I push the blow dryer actually touching my hair just to make sure it gets nice and straight because it's so curly. It needs to be actually touching the blow dryer and the brush. And I just pick up random pieces that I need to dry since the whole head does need to be dried. And I just do this exact same thing through my entire head. So as you can see, I'm getting a little bit farther along. I skipped some of it because it was just getting very tedious. And I'm just doing the exact same thing, just pulling pieces forward and putting the blow dryer touching it, always making it in a downward motion or else your hair is going to get really frizzy. So I'm just doing this exact same thing through my entire head with my paddle brush. Okay, so when I'm done blow drying, my hair looks like this. So it is fairly straight. It's just kind of frizzy and not manageable. It needs to be obviously straightened. So I am just going to blow dry this side and I will be right back. After I'm done blow drying, my hair looks something like this. So yes, it is straight, but it is just like a frizzy mess. And as much as I try, I cannot get it any different than this. So I do have a coupon code for that blow dryer and the Nicole Guerrero set. I will leave it down below. It's an amazing set and I 100% recommend it. So like I'm always on the lookout for like the new best straightener and I think I found it. This is the Ionic 10 times vibrating straightener. You can get it at Sephora and when you use it, somehow, I don't know how it makes it, but somehow my hair just looks so much healthier and so much more like just sleek, which is crazy because I know that's like what a straightener is meant for, but this one does an absolutely amazing job. So when you close it, the heads vibrate with one another, making it even more sleek and straight than, if possible, anything else. What I also really love about it is it has the like display here where it shows how hot it gets, and it gets super hot super fast, like super fast. And it has some nice grips here where you can put your thumb so that your thumb doesn't like slip onto the grips, and it is a nice pointed tip, meaning you can get like really close up into the roots, which is what I really need. So just to turn it on, it has these switches right here. So you just hold the button here and it turns it on, and then it goes up to 450 degrees, which is amazing as well because that gets it super hot. So I'm able to straighten my hair nice and fast, and it just locks in everything. And it also has directions here on how to turn it on and then how to turn the vibrating part on, because you can do it without the vibrating, but I like to do it with the vibrating. I don't know if you can hear it. Probably not. It's like not very loud at all, but it is absolutely amazing, and it has it on here. I just turned it on and it's already at 348 degrees, so that's crazy. It's like not even been a minute. So that's what also is really great about the straightener. So how I like to straighten my hair, I just like to section it off into sections like most people do, and I will just put it the rest up. The first thing I like to do is to comb through, and I don't need to put heat protectant in because I already put that argan oil in. And then I like to keep my comb in my hair, and then I'll go through the ends. I always like to go through the ends first just because I like to make sure that the ends are super straight. So as you can see already, that was one pass through, and it's already so much better than that side over there. So mid-shaft all the way down to the bottom, I only need one pass through because it just gets it super straight and super sleek really quickly. But when it comes to like the roots of my hair, I do need to go through it a couple of times just because the blow dryer didn't really get that very straight. Alright, so this is one side done. As you can tell, it looks so much better than this side that has not been straightened yet. And it was literally one pass through down here. And you can see just how shiny it is. And my hair really isn't that shiny. It's kind of healthy, but it's also not so healthy. I personally don't like to make my sections too big because then I just get overwhelmed with like all the amount of hair that's down there. So I try to go in pretty small sections just because that's how I like to do it. It takes longer, or it seems to take longer because you have more sections, but so this is the final hair. As you can see, it just looks super sleek, super soft, and it is nice and shiny, and it hardly took like any time. So here is my hair. So one thing I will say about this straightener is that you really need to be conscious of the tip, because the tip will snag on your hair if you like put it in at like the wrong angle. I did notice a few times that it was getting caught in the tip just because like I was going like this and it was just not how it wasn't as parted as it should be. So as long as you are conscious of like making your like pieces nice and like you know where to put them in, you know, like that, you shouldn't have that issue, because after I was like conscious of like how I was parting my hair, it was fine. But if you just try to go in like this and like, you know, try to just straighten it like that, you will probably get a couple pieces stuck inside. But other than that, I would give this 5 stars. I think this is absolutely amazing. I love that these buttons are nice and flat so I don't like hit them or anything. I love that it has a spot that you can see exactly what the temperature is. It is nice and sleek. The material is really nice. It doesn't make it like slide in your hand or anything. And I love that it has a swivel cord so it doesn't like get stuck and stuff when you're trying to straighten your hair. So yeah, I definitely would recommend this straightener. I think it is absolutely amazing. One other thing I'm not sure I mentioned, if you don't like the vibrating part of it, you can turn it off. You just have to hit the power button once and it will turn the vibrating off, or if you want it back on, you hit it once and then it turns back on the vibrating. So I think that's really great too. So if you buy it and you end up not liking the vibrating part of it, you can just turn it off. So this is an amazing straightener and I would definitely recommend it, especially since I have such curly hair. I usually know my straighteners and what gets things straight, what does not, and I think the straightener is amazing. Thank you so much for watching. I love all of you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.